Larry Culp's first broadcast interview this morning at the helm of GE. If you had to give him a grade, what would it be?
I'd give him a C+, maybe a B-. I think Larry still thinks his reputation from the past is good enough to carry him, and quite frankly, there's a lot of portfolio managers that don't remember Larry or weren't involved in Danaher, and there's a lot of folks that are just waiting for some details, some meat on the bone.
Where do you stand on the stock, and did you hear anything today that would change that?
Look, GE's either going bankrupt or the stock's going to double. It's one of the two, and I don't think it's going bankrupt. I mean, you've got $120 billion of revenues at this company. I mean, I think they have, longer term at least, the ability to generate at least $10 billion of cash out of those revenues, and but they've got a balance sheet problem. They're not generating much cash now, and they need to plug some holes. It's been a real mess. Larry didn't say anything new today. I mean, he stayed on script pretty much with the earnings release. Nothing new, and I think the market wanted to hear something more conclusive on the balance sheet.
We still don't have updated guidance for this year or for 2019. There seems like there's a lot of uncertainties and overhangs still longer term for the stock. I mentioned them earlier in the hour. You got the annual insurance reserve review, which I think a lot of folks have been focused on, obviously these regulatory probes, a number of other things. I mean, what do you see as sort of the biggest potential skeletons still in the closet? Are there some?
Yeah, well, we'll find out. But this reminds me a lot of late 2008. What we had in late 2008 when GE stock was down at these levels before, there were all kinds of concerns about commercial real estate and whether GE had $10 billion of losses or $100 billion of losses, but it was really hard to that's obviously a huge bid-ask spread. Now we're looking at insurance liabilities, we're looking at SEC lawsuits, DOJ, I mean, a lot of debt, pension liabilities. I mean, I think what Larry needs to do is come in and help people identify or at least circle what the range of outcomes are. And, eventually GE was able to do that in 2009, and the stock rallied from $6 back up to $30. I think this is a very similar situation.
Scott, you're invested in the stock personally. Obviously, there are a lot of retail investors who hold GE shares, including a lot of retirees from the company. What would you say to them right now?
I share their pain. I mean, as an analyst and a share owner, this has just been terrible. I had someone in my office earlier today that said this just feels like Lehman Brothers all over again. And GE was once upon a time a great American company, and it's really, really fallen on hard times. It's hard to defend it. I don't think there's any real bulls left. I mean, I think those of us that still own it or recommending the stock are just trying to dig out from underneath this avalanche of negative news and try to figure out if there's any value here.